as the students are joining in, I would not let the people who've joined on time wait any further. So we will start with a masterclass. Before that, I want to welcome each one of you to the masterclass on digital transformation, which is going to be taken by Professor Sriram. So I would literally want to tell a little bit about Professor Sriram. He's the Director of Operations, a mechanical engineering graduate from NIT Surat, followed by an MBA in marketing from SP Jain. Professor Sriram has held leadership positions in a variety of industries, namely automotive, engineering, IT services, startups, advertising, broking, and food. At UBS, Professor Sriram is responsible for managing the operations, management, academic delivery, and international programs. Apart from this, he is also responsible to drive business consulting for work for the institute. So it's a pleasure having you with us today, sir. And I would ask you to take over the class and we can begin with it.
Hey, thanks, Ms. Risha. A very, very good afternoon good evening to each one of you here. It's always a pleasure for us to interact with students. Thanks, Risha, for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this particular topic, which is a very challenging topic called digital transformation. So it's an interactive session, so feel free to push me into a corner. And if I can't answer a question, you will realize it because I would say that it's a good question. When I say it's a good question, that means I don't have an answer. Okay, got it? So very briefly, let me just tell you what I do. I'm basically, I teach operations and strategy in UBS. I love mentoring students. I work on sustainability projects, social projects. I spent 25-30 years in the industry, okay, and now completely into academia. Also do a lot of work and help people in development of students, getting you ready for placements. I'm sure that's not your priority for joining a B school. I was just joking, but we take care of that part. So corporate relations, placements are all part of where I put my, where I help others. So primarily, I studied marketing and I practiced HR and I teach operations. So given the complexity of my background, I don't get a job from anybody, right? So I decided to teach. Is that okay? Okay, so let's get on to the topic. Again, good to see you all. So this topic is about digital transformation. I really don't know what it is all about. It's one of the big buzzwords in today's world, digital transformation. Guys, you want to tell me what this is all about? What do you mean by digital transformation? Anyone, please make it interactive, yeah? I'll show you some slides, don't worry. But just make it a little interactive. What do you understand by digital transformation?
Sir, if you want me, I can shed some light onto the topic.
Yeah, please. I'll be happy if you take the topic also.
Certainly, thank you. As for my idea on the digital transformation, it can be something about how the society and how everybody, how our surroundings, everything is transforming to the digital part of the world. Even if you can take for NFT, now what is going on recently, more of the time, that is also our payments, our job.
Sure. So Shamik is primarily saying that the whole environment has moved to digital. So he says that is digital transformation. Okay, very good. Anybody has any other views?
Can I, sir?
Yeah, please. It's your show.
Sir, I think digital transformation is adaptation of digital technology by an organization. while the market
Great.
is changing.
Sure. Fantastic. Anybody else?
According to me, digital transformation is transferring the businesses and other organizations from analog means to the digital means. Like we can say, for example, money. Cash is the analog way of transfer of currency, whereas
Sure.
nowadays we are
So
using crypto and other things.
great. Anybody else? Otherwise, I'll move forward.
Sir,
Yeah, sure.
digital transformation is nothing but wherever we have some ideas about the implementation, like creating a new businesses ideas and interacting with some people. So we use like a digitalization, like producing any PDFs or any data on the boards and
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you guys have have been able to touch upon this topic. So frankly, there's nothing rocket science about this. Uh, like somebody said, transforming it to a PDF. So we've been digital for a long time. It's not a recent phenomena about being digital today. And we use these big words called digital transformation. We've been digital for a long time. We've been using various systems, software system for now 30 years, right? It's just that the world keeps using newer terms, and obviously technology has moved forward, much advanced, keeps changing, and new buzzwords come in, right? At the core of it, the concept of this, fundamentally, it's an environment that keeps changing, and you have to keep, aligned to it. So I'm going to now take a step back and share the screen so that guys feel free to interact. You can see the screen.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So we are talking about what is digital transformation.
Professor.
Sorry? Okay. So I'm going to ask you, because you already explained what is digital transformation. So I'm going to quickly, find out. I'm going to launch a poll. Okay. And I want you to just answer just on a click of a button. Okay. So have you seen the poll? Which is more important in digital transformation? Is it digital or is it transformation? There are two words. A tough question to answer. Right? So I've got which is more important in digital transformation? Is it digital or is it transformation? I'm going to give it okay. So anybody else? Just quickly do it, then I'll shut it off. I'm going to count 5 and guys just attempt. We'll not know who has said what. And in business, there's nothing called right or wrong, right? It's a perspective. Okay, so I'm going to stop it at, there are 47 people who have done. Thank you so much for taking the time out. So can you see the results? Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sort of about 50 people all who done, went through the poll, you had 40% saying digital and 60% saying transformation, right? So great. I think a very, very fair answer. So we know both are important. And the question was, which is more important? Now, in reality, the transformation is a bigger challenge than the digital. Okay? And why so? When we moved into online banking, is that digital or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
You might have found that a lot of your grandparents didn't want to move into online. Okay, they still wanted their checkbooks or their passbooks to be updated by the bank. And you being grandchildren, I'm sure they must have used your services. Beta beti, go and get this done. Okay, ATMs. There are still people who don't want to withdraw. When the ATM started, it took a lot of time. These are mindsets and transformation issues, right? Question here is, why did a Walmart, who have been in the retail segment for so many years, didn't create an Amazon of theirs, right? Why did they not create an online e-commerce, right? It is not because they didn't understand digital. It is because they couldn't do the transformation of the people's mindsets. Are you getting what I'm trying to say, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They had to finally spend $15 billion to come to India and acquire Flipkart, right? So I'm not here to debate digital is more important or transformation is more important. I'm very glad that a lot of people showed a transformation was important. I think the message here I wanted to communicate is transformation is extremely important as digital. And I'm pretty happy to see that a lot of you guys had voted for transformation as well, right? So absolutely critical in doing this. Can you go on mute, guys?
Please be on mute, Pratmesh.
So just to take a step back for everybody to understand, I'm just building 3 terminologies. Hey guys, it's going to be a very, very, it's going to be a very, no high-tech words, because it's not high-tech. Okay, it's going to be at a very basic, simple level. A lot of complex things in life are very simple. Okay, and we are not here to become digital transformation experts after this presentation. The idea is to familiarize ourselves, because people get scared of digital transformation, the word itself, right? So is to just get the basics right. So there is something called digitization, then there is something called digitalization, and then we are talking about digital transformation. So there are 3 levels. I'm sure you understand what digitization is. Digitization is anything that you convert from physical to digital format. And that's how the journey started. Somebody said, convert something into a PDF. That's a digitization, right? So you just converted from, somebody said analog, very nicely put, businesses from analog to digital, right? So at a basic level, that is digitization. It's just digitalizing it. The second one is when we use the word digitalization, right? You are now, don't worry about what's written there, okay? This is not we are not here to memorize definitions, but you're taking the digital technology to make better business decisions, right? For example, you are using one of the biggest things that's changed in the last few years is what we call as peer review, right? Before you buy anything, you want to go and check the review, the rating, right? Now, data is allowing you to probably go to and check which rating of the hotels that you want to go is better, right? So you go to the site. Which site is that? There's a site called Trivago,
Yes, sir.
right? Or any such site which can allow you to compare ratings. So you're trying to make, better business decisions or assess data, right? So that is just some level of digitalization. And when you come to digital transformation, don't worry about this big definition, but primarily you are now transforming, or when you say transformation, it means changing. You're changing the way the world used to work or the business used to work in the past, right? You're changing the way you are now interacting with your customers, the way you're running your business, the way you're delivering value to your clients. That becomes a complete transformation, right? And obviously using latest technologies and so on and so forth. Okay. Guys, clear about this? Any doubts? Right? So digitization, and digital transformation, right? When you talk of digital transformation, you are bringing in the customers into the picture, right? The way you interact with the customers, the touch points, you're all consumers. You want to get the same touch points when you go to a retail store or when you're online, right? Or you're walking, you're in the airport, you're in a mall, right? So that's the customer side of things. Okay. So when we talk about that, that becomes a digital transformation. So any questions at this point in time?
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
You're able to understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So key areas of digital transformation, which is why it is different from digitalization. The first one has always been there. Every time we did something in the software, whether you call ERP, you know what is ERP? It's a enterprise resource planning. SAP is one of an ERP solution, software company. You have Oracle, so on and so forth. So a lot of internal process. When we did digital, when we moved digital 30 years back, everything was looking at operations. Can I increase automation? Can I replace people with more automation? Right? So on and so forth. Right? More process equipments, etc., right? So that is about increasing operations process. This is always happening. What didn't happen, and that's where it's very important to understand, is customer experience. When it was operation process, the customer never saw it. It was internal to the organization. You never worried, how is the bank putting my money in my account when I give it to somebody else, right? When I cut a check and give it, you don't know what happens in the back end. It goes to the RBI bank for clearance. It takes 3 days, so on and so forth. So when you made it online, you improved the operation process. You could transfer the money today online, isn't it? From your online account to another account, right? So it's actually digital has helped them. But look at what's happened to the customer experience. The customer experience is, you've used technology now to fuel customer growth, which means customers love Google Pay, right? Customer experience has changed. He's got more flexibility, his customer satisfaction, he's delighted, right? He's so happy. He says, whichever shop I go, I can scan and do it, right? Through Google Pay. He's no more hassled when he travels. Oh God, did I carry enough money? Because in the past, when you used to travel to a destination, you were not sure how much are you going to spend. So you had to decide, should I take 10,000 for a Goa trip, 5,000 or whatever. Today, you're not too much hassled, right? At any time, you could go to an ATM or use any other Google Pay digital, right? And actually, the customer experience has changed. The customer experience of shopping is completely changed. So one of the critical areas of digital transformation is the customer experience. And that is how it is different from the past in terms of digitization or digitalization. Okay. This makes the customer part of your equation, right? And the third important thing, which is again where digital transformation is, your business model can completely be transformed. Okay. What can be transformed? Your complete business model can get transformed. Can somebody give an example of how a business model has got transformed? Any example that comes to your mind? Come on, guys. You're the future.
Sir, we can take the example of Misho. For example,
Zomato.
Misho.
What is this?
Misho, sir, where we can register our businesses and can
Okay.
do
I'm
business
sorry,
on.
guys. I'm still not there as close as you guys. You guys are much more forefront on adopting digital technologies. Yeah. So Misho.
Sir, we can take an example
Anything
of
else?
Zomato.
Huh?
Zomato.
Okay.
Just dial. Flipkart. Amazon.
Absolutely. All these guys. Now, you look at somebody like, of course, all these are examples. Airbnb, right? What is these technology? What are these, not technology, what are these companies done? When I say business model, let's take an example of, you guys want to take an example of Ola, right?
Yes.
Or Airbnb, or what is the Indian version of Airbnb? I forget. Who's this guy who runs?
Oyo.
Yeah. Sorry?
Oyo.
Yeah, Oyo. Sorry, Oyo. So
Oyo is quite different from.
what is this business model? What is significantly different about this business model? Tell me.
Like they are providing some facilities to the couples area, or else providing some space to the
Okay,
public.
let me rephrase the question. What is the difference between Oyo and Marriott hotels, or Oyo and Ginger?
Oyo are cost
Difference between all
they cost very much. Like Marriott rooms are very luxury and they cost very much, and they too have a 5-star rating. Whereas Oyo has
Oyo and Ginger. Chalo,
Sir,
Oyo and Ginger.
Sir, Oyo doesn't have its own like physical asset or something. It is just basically connecting things.
It's an aggregator.
Yeah, aggregator.
Absolutely.
Mediator.
So absolutely. So what I meant is, you're correct earlier by saying, married is luxurious, and I understand that. I agree to that. But what's important when I say business model, please understand, the same ride you're providing, or the same, finally you're providing a night stay, right? At a core level, you're satisfying the need, but hotel nahi khada karna hai. These are called asset light models. No assets, तुमने एक ब्रिक या सीमेंट तक नहीं खरीदा बनाने के लिए, right? You are an aggregator, because what is the limitation? And Marriott can only have 20 hotels, 40 hotels, 50 hotels. So if you look at Meru cabs, I don't know if you guys know Meru cabs and those kind of
Meru cab.
Meru का वो cab खरीदो, उसका maintenance करो, all that headaches. No, and Ola has become asset light. No assets. Ola, Uber, when they started, Uber, I remember in Bangalore, I was there in 2004 or 5, I don't know, maybe 8 or I don't remember the somewhere. Just 2 people or 4 people in a city running a cab service, and no interaction with. You can never talk to an Uber or an Ola guy. Your only access is driver, right?
Yes.
In Meru, you have to call up, then you'll wait, then they will give you a booking confirmation, all that, right? So the whole user experience has completely changed. As a customer, you now can actually pull up, you could pull which car you want to go, right? Also, there are ratings. So though a car might be nearer to you, coming in 5 minutes, but if the rating of the driver of a car which is 15 minutes away, right, or 12 minutes away, if you find that the rating of that car, when you say the rating of that car, the driver keeps his car better, cleaner, he is more hospitable, he's probably a much less rash driver, or whatever may be those things, you'll still wait for 12 minutes, you have a choice. So they've completely changed the business model, and that is digital transformation as well. So digital transformation is not just about operational improvements alone. It can be operational improvements, it can be customer experience, it can be changing the business model, right? And even improving business operations alone, that is also digital transformation. Don't think digital transformation is only about new business models. No, all these are digital transformations, right? So if you use no paper forms of UBS for your application, for your PIs, right? That's a digital. We are in the digital path. Okay, and I'm going to take you through 2-3 slides of where UBS, what does UBS do about digital transformation? We are just not an academic institution that talks and teaches digital transformation to its students. We adopt digital transformation at UBS, and I'll tell you what all we do on digital in UBS. Okay, because you guys are still outside the system, and I'll come to a last 2 slides in that. Guys, are you clear now on what?
Yes, sir.
You are never wrong. I have just put it in a perspective. That's all, right? It's not that you are wrong, right? So we're just putting in things into that. So if coming back to, sorry, I need to get out of the, sorry, share. Okay. So I'm going to get into a quick poll. Digital transformations means radical disruption. So radical disruption means, the question here is, does digital transformation always means radical disruption? You know what do you mean by radical?
Yes, sir. Extreme.
Whenever you hear digital transformation, do you think it means mainly radical disruption? Guys, it doesn't matter whatever you feel. There's nothing like right or wrong. We're just picking up a few basics and discussing around it. I hope you guys are okay with this session the way I'm taking it, or you are expecting something else. I don't know.
No, sir, it's perfectly
Sir,
fine.
It's going fine, sir.
Sir, it's going
Sir,
very fine.
your question meant always, right?
Yeah, always. Good point. Yeah. Does it mean always radical disruption? Okay, for people maybe who didn't read the question or I didn't explain, yes. Cool. So we've got about 45, 46 responses. So I'm going to end the poll, guys. So can you see that? So 76% of the people said it doesn't mean radical disruption. And I would want to say that, yes, you are correct. It doesn't always mean. You've seen the results, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are correct. It sometimes is radical disruption, but doesn't mean always radical disruptions. So you will always have the Ubers of the world, which are radical disruptions. They are radical disruptions. They completely disrupted the taxi market, or Airbnb were completely disrupted, or Amazon, yes. But digital transformation doesn't mean it's always radical disruptions. I'm a cement company. What do you want me to do? Drastically disrupt? Okay, I still have to manufacture cement, right? I can't do anything. Now, what I can digitalize, right? I cannot digitalize my, it's not radical, but I can make the customer interactions much more digitalized. They can see if they use my cement or my paint, right? And Asian paints or whatever it is, they can get a much more feel. You can use various technologies for them to actually get a feel, a 3D vision on how their house would look if I painted one wall red and the 3 walls cream, right? So you could get those kind of digital aspects, and that is digital transformation. There's nothing disruption about it, right? So these are all digital transformation. A bank which processes its payments faster, transfer faster. When a bank says, I will take 24 hours to transfer, and another bank says, I will transfer in 30 minutes, you're going to be using the bank which transfers in 30 minutes. So they're also all, it's all about digital there as well, right? So that's also digital transformation, right? So various examples across shipping companies, across across logistics, across any industry, every industry, whether it's Visa cards, Mastercards, so on and so forth. So it's about just not about always disrupting the industry. Okay, so sometimes we have a mindset, oh, कंपनी में बोला कि डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करना है, कुछ नया करना पड़ेगा. No, not required. Okay, so not required all the time. Coming back, so if I come to this, it's sorry guys.
One doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, if there is a digital transformation in each and every aspect, don't you feel that the Indian economy will be increased, where as well as the lives of the people who are working in that, they lose their jobs? Just we are thinking of our technology.
Sure. I got a question. So when people said 25 years back, when IT comes, a lot of jobs will get lost. When people said that automation will come, a lot of jobs will get lost. People said robots आएंगे तो काम कम होगा. I don't think that's completely correct way of looking at it. I think all this enables more customer spending, I think more growth in the economy, and you need more and more of it. I had thought that a TCS or an Infosys would be a 500 crore, 1000 crore in 90s. I'm talking about when I was graduating, right? 2000, 4000, 5000, 10,000 crore. They become like 150,000 crores or 100,000 crores. Huge, correct? Yeah. They themselves they are now 5 lakh people, right? So I think the customer is progressing, right? The customer is progressing well in life. The standards have increased, right? And I don't think that there is any cause of concern as a job loss. What is important to understand is, and which is very important, is what we call as continuous learning. Now, you guys, as tomorrow, as potential B school graduates, right? It's not about learning only in the B school. What UBS will try to do is to get you habituated to self-learning as well. So there is no, just tell me, what do I know about digital, right? I studied MBA in 96 from SP Jain, right? I'm still now, I still have to keep up to understand what it means, right? The world has changed. So it's a constant learning proposition, right? So I don't think we should get too worried about this. What is important is you have to constantly keep yourself getting skilled. Continuous learning, we call it now lifelong learning. So why don't you just pick up a video on YouTube of a Satya Nadella, right? Or some of these guys, and you'll find that they're constantly learning. You think Satya Nadella is the most brightest person on earth? No, he's not, right? He's not the brightest person. Did he come from an IIT? No. Did he come from a BITS or an NIT? No, right? Has he done an MBA from IIM? No. But what he has done, he has kept his eyes and ears open. He's been a great listener, right? He has understood, kept himself constantly updated. You'll finally find that's what they'll tell you is the important trait of a leadership, right? So I think, that's how I'd like to talk at this point in time. So the myth of which you answered no, please understand, everywhere the customer is important, right? It means you're using your digital tools better, right? Whether it's your digital marketing or you're trying to use your social media optimization tools and analytics, whatever digital tools you want to use, whether you want to use your blockchain, you want to use IoT, you want to use artificial intelligence. Now I'm bringing in some technological words, right? These are all digital tools, right? By which you can serve. That means you can service your customer needs better. That's more important. That is what it doesn't mean disruption. The second one, this is just about I need to just 2 more polls, guys. There's let me answer the question. Let me tell you the question. Digital is all about technology. Digital is all about technology only. Okay. When I mean digital, I meant digital transformation is all about technology only. Digital transformation. Okay. Sorry if I phrased the question wrong, but that's not important. We'll understand. I'm going to quickly, I have another 15 minutes and I'm going to rush through after this couple of slides. And I'm sure then you've understood what it means. So 40 guys have answered. I'm so thankful to you all. So sorry for not phrasing the question correctly. Yes. So most of you, 55% have said no. You're absolutely correct. Digital transformation. I'm sorry about the mistake on the question, but maybe people would have changed it. Digital is not only about technology. Digital is can you see this?
Yes, sir.
So it's about the customer, right? And we spoke this earlier also. Always, guys, focus on the customer. Okay. Yes, digital means technology, but it's not just about technology. It's about the customer. For example, if your customer is not very much aware, right, of detailed, or is not very, very adaptable to deep technology, right? You could be on a high level of digital transformation, but the customer doesn't understand you, right? So you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful. You can't lose focus about your customer. There are so many failures because somebody went digital much ahead and the customer wasn't convinced about that. So, you have. So just to take a step back, all I'm trying to say is it's not all about technology. It's about knowing your customer. And then I'm sure you can use what digital tools you require to meet your customers' requirements. Okay. So okay, I'm cutting down one poll because you've done 3 polls and we are short of time. Digital will replace physical. What's your comment on this, guys? This is an interesting one.
So not completely, but yeah, to an extent.
Okay.
So can I?
Yeah, please. It's your show.
Yeah, sir. I think that digital will replace the physical because in some time, recently I have went to some technology office in some for interview for a job. So I went there and I was giving my interview. So many of the people were so experienced and they have much experience in that. So they are cancelled the interview. They rejected them because they are losing because they have a 5 to 6 year experience, but they are not capable to. So in that case, I think that the digital will dispute the physical life. Physical, which means the job who works for them.
So I have a question for you guys. When you go digital, what changes when I'm just asking a question, right? So my cousin sent me a picture from US, and she said that she sent me a picture of a restaurant, and she said, wow, the robo is serving us. Would you like to go to a restaurant where robots serve you?
Yes.
Guys, somebody else wants to comment?
Not really.
No, you can feel free.
No, sir.
Sorry?
No, sir.
No, sir. Sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, I would like to go.
Would like to go. So some people like to do that. Some people like to, may not like. What is the difference? The difference is when you're physical, there is an emotional
Yes, right.
connect with the customer, right?
People go to restaurant for experience, sir.
Go for an experience, you want that, right? And so, guys, let me put this disclaimer, and I'll put this disclaimer when you guys who are joins, and hopefully many of you join UBS. very clear. There's nothing like right or wrong in this world as far as business is concerned, right? Should I increase the price or decrease the price? Should I increase my advertising or no? Should I launch this product or not? All this, after every successful product, there has been 20 failures that has happened before. So these are all, these are all trade-offs. Something is an advantage, there is a disadvantage, and all that stuff. So there's nothing like this is the right answer or that's not the right answer. Some places digital may replace physical, some places it may not. So you need to look at it, which customer or which business you're operating. So coming back to this, the emotional angle of the relationship of the customer gets lost, right? Now, when you miss the physical, then the whole emotional connect goes off. Now, it depends on what's your kind of business that you're in. If you're a fine dine restaurant and you want to go, you want to be pampered by the guy, right? Saying, sir, try this, and then you want an interaction. You will say that, "Are usme thoda pyaj jada dalo, mushroom nikal do." You want to have that interaction, and how will the gravy be or whatever it is, right? So you got to be careful when you're trying to replace, especially where there is a customer interaction, right? So a lot of customers would like to go, like I'm told a lot of people go to Chroma and they check all the physical products, then they go to Amazon and buy it online, right? At a cheaper price. Okay. So I would have also believed, I always tell the students here that I'm amazed, not amazed, but I'm surprised why Tata Nano, being a low-cost car, it could have been bought online, right? You just book a, if you want to try it, the guy could have come to your house. You could have taken a test drive, looked at the car, and then booked it online. It's a very small car. You don't need to go and waste physical presence and, physical space. Finally, when you see these showrooms in the Gurgaons of the world and the Bombays and all these places, a very expensive rental. I would rather put a 20 lakh car as a showpiece rather than put a 2 lakh Nano, right? So one needs to see where it is digital, where is physical. But broadly, you'll find that a lot of people who have been totally digital are trying to put some physical, and those who are physical are trying to put. And that's what we call it as omni-channel. Okay. So that's a perspective. Digital, a lot of people say, I'm going to rush now. A lot of people say digital involves, digital to startup kharidega. I think it's not about just buying the startup. I think, you would have seen now Mukesh Ambani buying a lot of companies in the e-commerce space. He's wrapping up one by one, right, in the digital space. You got to protect it. You got to make sure that these companies are not put into, if small startups are put as part of Reliance, then they will lose all the innovation, because Reliance is so huge that they will get lost, right? So we talked about this, technology and customer. Last one, digital requires overhauling of legacy systems. When you say legacy systems, old systems, okay, overhauling. Not really overhauling. You're going to keep improving and incrementally building your new technology. It's not that you're going to throw the old one. Because in life, you're going to see that every 5 years, you're going to come up with some new thing. Today, it is digital transformation. 20 years back, it was business process re-engineering. Big terms, right? Digital transformation is nothing but business transformation, right? So you got to keep this. So last slide on this presentation, and then I have a couple of slides on what we do in UBS, is the 4 pillars of digital transformations is primarily you look at improving your IT, right? Your IT, information technology systems, right? You want to digitalize your operations, which means making sure that your operational efficiency, productivity, blah, blah, blah increases. You want to make sure your customer is taken care of, which we spoke earlier again. in terms of digital marketing. So you want to have your customers' interactions, the customer experience is the word that's used. The customer needs to get the same experience in various forms. When he walks into a physical retail showroom, when he's accessing his mobile, right, he wants to have the same experience. And of course, the new business models that we spoke about. So these are the 4 pillars of digital transformation, right? When we look at, can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm not going to tell you last 2 sides at UBS. So we just don't teach digital transformation. As you guys come on board, you will find that we are right now at 70% of our implementation, and by the time you guys come in July, and whoever is there as part of this is going to see a much higher digitalization, and it's a journey. There is no end to it. So we use no paper forms, which is a completely end-to-end digital student admissions, which you guys are going through. We have a digital campus called Paul. That's our ERP system. And I'm going to, next slide will tell you what all it does. Similarly, our entire academics is digital. Okay. Which is again, we use call Paul. Our complete CRM, which means a customer relationship management, we use one of the top companies which has got listed, Freshworks, Freshdesk. You heard of Freshdesk? Right? So the guy it's a $1 billion company which has got listed in NASDAQ a few months ago, right? And the last is we also have our HR system. We're using top-end Hono, right? All these are top-end. All are great startups or now become into companies. All these are, high-tech companies which we have been using. We're not using anything that is traditional or been there for 20 years. Now, when we look at classrooms, right, digital academics, all our scheduling, allocation is all through CallPaul. All our assessments, quizzes, you just through your mobile, do the quiz, you'll get your results immediately. There is no quiz, paper, corrections. We'll have various assignments, discussion forums. You can sit and discuss and debate on a topic, and it'll all be captured, your comments, and a professor can grade them. All the resources, case studies, articles, PPTs, and a bunch of so many things are all available to you. Anytime you want to access, it's there. You have your own account, which you log in. Students, your attendance, you walk in, swipe or fingerprint, it's all into the system. You can check your own attendance. Submissions, you can check all that. Your feedback, one of our important things is faculty feedback. We want to improve. We have, we believe in continuous improvement. So after a course is over, through the course, we expect students to give us feedback to see where we can improve better. And students' feedback is the most important. You are our internal customers. Your experience has to be very good, right? In every touch point, right? So when you come, you're going to say, hey, everything is digital. All my touch points are good. If one of your touch points is bad, you're going to not be happy, right? So all your grade sheets, everything will come in through that. Similarly, another area which is very important for you guys is your campus, because you're going to be spending 24 hours in the campus, right? Your room allocation, hostels. Sorry, I put in this assignments and this is the wrong one. But all your help center, your room is allocated. You click and say, my AC is not working. It will go through a trouble ticket and it'll go through the reference person. If nobody attends to it, it gets escalated. After 2 days, if nobody attends, it goes all the way to me or to even the chairman, right? So all your student tracking, your gates, your leave management, right? You don't have to go to somebody and keep begging, so there's a process. All your fee management, dues management, etc. All the student well-being, clubs, counseling, We have a lot of well-being activities that we take care of, many more. I've just put this in terms of, what we are doing right now, some glimpse to that. Okay. So as far as digital transformation is concerned, I think it's not just about this teaching and talking and what it is, but at UBS, we actually walk the talk. So we ourselves are on the path of digital transformation. So we have Dr. Tapas Sengupta, who is the head of digital transformation, who actually is officially known as head of digital transformation. So he works with me to, on various initiatives to make sure that the student experience is of a very high quality. And Mr. Tarun Singh Anand, the chairman, is extremely particular of student experience. So whether it's a plaza, everything has to be spot on. He doesn't like students to be go through any inconvenience, because you left your homes and you're staying here, and the purpose of this institution called Universal is to give you a world-class quality, not just education, but also in terms of infrastructure, experience, and so on and so forth. I am close to the conclusion. I've Risha ma'am started 3 minutes late, and I'm giving it back to her 2 minutes early, right? So one last word. I think I really enjoyed interacting with you guys, and I should say I'm very, very pleased to have you guys participating so much. I know it's online, but I could see the enthusiasm, and I'm very happy that you guys are updated and you understand. And I'm sure I didn't share anything new to you today. I think we probably just engaged ourselves for an hour to just just discuss a few points and probably deliberate and share. So I leave it to you guys, students. If you want to have any questions, any comments, you can be absolutely free with me. You can share whatever you felt, any comments, any views, anything that you felt I could have done it differently, so on and so forth. You're absolutely free to share. Okay. That's it from my end, guys. So any comments, any views, critical comments? Did you like my acting?
If you guys want, you can put it in the chat box also. Yeah, please go ahead.
First of all, thank you, sir, for taking such a wonderful class of the digital transformation. So I would like to ask the overview of you that just now you have raised one question, like if you are in California, you would like to go to digital or a physical attachment with the somewhat like food in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
What is your understanding in that, sir?
My understanding, I think it's pretty much clear as far as this is as a consumer. You're asking me if I'm a consumer. I would like to have some of the activities which are, which need to be automated, should be digitalized. I don't want to stand in a queue. I prefer to do a self check-in in an airport, for example. It's not critical for me to have an experience with the person who's sitting in the check-in counter, right? Because she herself seems to be very busy in life, right? So those activities I would like it to be digitalized, right? So, but where there is an interaction, where I think there is an exchange of needs to be shared and so on and so forth, then obviously you need to have a physical one. So somewhere, if you want to touch the product, feel the product, even in shopping, right? You want to feel it, you want to touch it, you want to decide, make a decision, then you obviously need to do that. If you want to buy a Crocin tablet, I don't think there is anything to feel about a Crocin tablet, right? You'd rather order it online. So I guess it's a mix of both, right?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I need to ask you something. It is related to UBS curriculum, other than UBS curriculum. Will they give us some extra classes on like AI or something, AI projects and all?
Sure. So very quickly on this, let me tell you. So we have business analytics as a minor, and it's also it depends on which programs you are taking. I don't know, but broadly, you have a major, minor. Business analytics has become a minor. So you have all areas of analytics which is there. So we offer marketing analytics, finance analytics. Uh, uh, Operations, supply chain with analytics. So because this whole digital is not anymore domain, it's not marketing. If it is marketing, it's digital marketing, right? So it's cutting across analytics, and digital analytics is a big form of digital, right? Data.
Yes,
it's
yes.
cutting across all domains. So even a bank needs a digital or a data, whether it's a financial services, whether it's a marketing company, whether it's a manufacturing company. So best for you would be to take the minor as analytics. In that, you would obviously be using various tools, and AI is part of it, right? But having said that, let me just clarify, guys. You guys are not here to become data scientists, right? You will become digitally aware. You will be conversant with analytics, but we are not data scientists, okay? Because the roles that you people will be playing in business is to get the insights out of the data, right? And hence, you don't need to worry about how the algorithm has to be written. That's the job of a data scientist.
Yes,
Who
yes.
will
I
get
get
into
that, sir.
deep into machine learning and other things,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
You know, so when you're booking an Ola or Uber or an aircraft, or I mean a flight, you find that it's a dynamic pricing, right? Every time 10 seats gets booked, the rate changes from 4,000 to 5,000 rupees, right? So that's a dynamic pricing model, right? Further, there's an algorithm written which you don't need to worry about.
Sir, for every app there is an algorithm that we all
There's an
understand.
algorithm
Yes,
written,
yes,
so you
yes.
don't need to worry. So you will be embracing all these areas, but not to get too worried. You will not go deep into it, right?
Okay.
You're not getting into technology side of it.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions?
Sir?
Yeah, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good
I
evening.
want to ask, is there any pre-required technology that we need to know before coming to the college?
Any?
Pre-required technology, pre-required, anything.
Just only one thing. If you really ask me, on a lighter note, an open mind is what we require. Okay, but if you really ask me, push me to something, I would only say only one thing. You got to get conversant with Excel as a tool, Microsoft Excel. That's the backbone of anything. So make sure that you take up a course, use Excel. See, these are tools which you have to use. If you don't use PowerPoint, you will never know how to use PowerPoint. Now, in your graduation, you must have used PowerPoint. So you're comfortable. You would have made presentations. So you're happy about doing it. So same thing with Excel. That's the only tool you need to do, right? If you get that, then you're sorted, because then you're not under pressure here. And if you're able to use that tool, that's the only thing that you require. Nothing else. You don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to be anything on this, right? Because the world is not the world is not run by technical geeks. In business you need to just have a fair idea, which we will train you. Just an open mind is important. A lot of people are scared of digital marketing. Dar jate hai. What is it, right? HR analytics, wow, what is it? So there's nothing to be scared about. Just get your Excels done. That's important.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Risha, madam.
Yes, sir. So great. I mean, it was a great session, as we all have seen. I have also read the chat box as well. Students have sent their feedback there as well. So thank you so much, sir, for giving us such a wonderful session. It was a pleasure being here with you. And thank you each one of you. We will be resuming with another masterclass next week, and we'll send you the details on that.
Hey guys, it's so good to interact. Take care. Bye and be safe, and hopefully see most of you in campus. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye. Thanks so much, Risha, once again
for
this
sir.
opportunity and
you,
your patient follow-up and reminders.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.